Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Classic Comics. Today I'm reviewing The Expanse Episode 3, which is titled Mother. By the way, there will be spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen it yet, you should do that first. Now, we start on the moon, and Christian and Admiral Delgado are having a drink. They're interrupted by a Dr. Alloway, who's been sent over to speak with them, although he doesn't know why. They inform him that their conversation is classified and he must not tell anyone about what they're discussing. Then they show him some telemetry readings regarding the meteor swarm that destroyed the research vessel at the beginning of the season. Dr. Alloway notes that the meteors were probably part of a larger asteroid that broke apart. He also notices that all of the meteors seem to have higher return signatures on one side. He estimates that the original asteroid was 10 to 30 meters in diameter and that if it hit Earth, it would have an impact of around 1 to 4 megatons. Admiral Delgado says that it's equivalent to a medium-yield nuclear warhead with a blast radius of about 13 kilometers. After Dr. Alloway leaves, Admiral Delgado says that the higher return signatures on one side of each meteor could suggest that the original asteroid was coated with a stealth material. Christian says that her contacts on Mars, and that would be Bobby Draper, have told her that Belters have bought Martian stealth tech on the black market. They theorize that Marco Inaris coated an asteroid with stealth composites and launched it at Earth, but it broke up before it reached its target. Christian argues that there may be more on the way. There are, but they don't know that. And the surveillance satellites around Earth that are used to detect Martian stealth vessels need to be retasked to search for asteroids. Admiral Delgado says that that's impossible. The satellites are aimed at Mars to prevent the Martians from launching a strike on Earth. Christian tells him to speak to the director of Earth Intelligence and convince him to retask the satellites. Drummer and her crew find Clay's Ashford ship. They board it and find that it's been stripped of most of its useful components and supplies. Drummer orders her crew to get the ship running again and find Ashford's backup data cores for the ship's systems, as he would have them hidden somewhere. On Tycho, Monica shows Holden and Fred Johnson a video of a fight that occurred on Ceres in which Cortazar, the scientist that Johnson has working on the proto-molecule, can be identified. She tells them that Cortazar was taken from Ceres by a Belter strike team. Johnson asks Monica if she got a look at the people who took her, and she says she didn't. She wants them to tell her more about what's going on, but doesn't get any answers from them. Holden suggests that they might come after Fred next and that he should leave Tycho and hide somewhere. Fred refuses and says that they should just focus on finding the kidnappers first. Naomi arrives on Pallas Station, where she reconnects with a couple of Belters, Sin and Corral. She tells them that she wants to see Felip, but they refuse to take her to him. She pleads with them to tell Felip that she's on Pallas and wants to speak to him. On Mars, Alex meets with Lieutenant Babbage, and they have a conversation about the protomolecule over a bottle of wine. On Ashford's ship, Drummer finds a recording that Ashford took moments before his death, in which Inaros describes his intention to go after targets bigger than Tycho or Ceres. Drummer then announces to her crew that she plans to track Marco down and collect the $20 million bounty on his head. On Tycho, Sakai, the engineer that's been working on the Rossi, finds the identities of the people who purchased the shipping container in which Monica was found. It belonged to a freight company called Doro Freight, which is run by two brothers, but when Holden and a security team try to arrest them, he finds that they're already dead. On Mars, Alex asks a few questions about Salvater at the end of his meeting with Babbage, and it clearly makes Babbage suspicious. While returning to his hotel room, Alex is attacked by two people who inject him with a drug and ask him why he wants information about Salvater. Under the influence of the drug, Alex admits that he is trying to learn about Salvater's involvement in illegal weapons trafficking. They're about to kill him when Bobby shows up and overpowers the two attackers before they're able to kill him. They turn the two attackers over to the police, who say that the two are former military who were dishonorably discharged for theft of military hardware. Alex tells Bobby that Babbage will be leaving Mars the next day on a ship called the Barkeith, and they plan to follow it. Drummer is approached by fellow crew member Oksana, who tells her that there are better ways to grieve Ashford's death than to hunt down Marco for revenge, because that will probably get them all killed. Drummer agrees to call off the hunt for Marco, and she sends the recording that she found in Ashford's ship to Fred Johnson, telling him that, though she hopes the information can help somehow, this is not her fight. Naomi's meeting with Felip goes badly, as he is still angry at her for abandoning him when he was a child. Naomi offers him a ship of his own to take and go wherever he likes, but he rejects the offer. Fred discovers that the ship scheduled to pick up the container in which Monica was hidden will soon arrive at Tycho. They decide to let the ship arrive and load the container, then they'll lock the ship down and prevent it from leaving while a strike team takes control of it. On Pallas Station, Naomi is ambushed by Felip, who wields a shock gun and renders her unconscious. Then they take her and the ship she offered to Felip, and they leave Pallas Station. On the moon, Admiral Delgado tells Christian that retasking the satellites to look for a stealth asteroid isn't going to happen, and he's been told by the UN Secretary General's office to stop pursuing this line of investigation. Christian says they need to find someone else who will listen, but the Admiral says that no one else will, and points out that they really have no proof of anything, just conjecture. He tells her that he's pursued this as far as he can and he won't help her anymore. Then Christian receives a message from Fred Johnson, which contains the recording of Marco, implying that he plans to strike a target with an asteroid. Now, on most shows, she would contact the government and use the recording to convince them that an attack is imminent, and then they would prevent it at the last minute and save millions of lives. But this is the Expanse, and bad things happen all the time. While she's actually listening to the recording, Marco's asteroid hits Earth, somewhere off the coast of Africa, it looks like. And the episode ends there. So this episode was solid, but really everything happening in this episode is about to be overshadowed by the disaster on Earth. One of the compelling things about The Expanse is that the good guys often don't win. And often the good guys aren't really that good. The show is very much composed of great characters for the most part. Aside from Holden, even the good guys often have questionable motivations, and their reasons for doing things are often selfish. So it's going to be interesting seeing what kind of fallout there is from the asteroid strike, both literally and figuratively. Earth's instinct will probably be to blame Mars and launch a retaliatory strike, which I'm sure Christian will try to talk them out of, but is anybody going to actually listen? So let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, please do hit the like button. Also, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.